Hi, this is Mandy from SunflowersAndDors. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. Welcome to day 11 of 31 tags in 31 days. And today we're going to make an accordion tag, or try and make an accordion tag. So I've prepared as much as I could beforehand to save time. And literally all I've got is I've got my two tags, which are 6 by 3, and I've just cut those out of plain cream card. I have got 4 pieces of craft paper, and that is 14 centimetres by 17 centimetres. I'm going to have to go with centimetres on that one, I'm afraid. I've also cut out a small tag from the kit, just literally the size it came out. I've cut around that slightly larger with some more craft paper which was left over from here. I've cut out a label from the kit and again just a little bit of craft paper that will kind of hopefully fit that, hopefully. So what we're going to do is we're going to create an accordion tag. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get these papers that I've cut out. I'll try and work out the inches for you actually. So that's 6 3/4 inches by 5.5 inches. And I've got 4 of these. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to face them so that the longest edge is facing downwards. And I'm going to score at 1/2 centimetre. Oh, half an inch, sorry. That's 1/2 inch, not 1/2 centimetre. I might do it this end actually because it's easier. So score, 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 and score. All 1/2 inch. Okay. Then I'm going to turn them so that the longest piece is horizontal, and I'm going to score them at 2 inches. Gosh, I've got to get my inches and my centimetres right. 2 inches and 5 inches. Same with all of them. 2 inches and 5 inches. If you don't have inches, and you only have centimetres, you're going to have to try and do the calculations, I'm afraid. Because if I just try and work with 2 sets of data, it absolutely blows my mind. Excuse me. So that is the scoring then. So what we're going to do with these pieces we've scored is I'm going to put them all together and cut them as one, just because it's not particularly thick paper. And we've got, in effect, 6 sections. I don't know if you can see that, but that's the score line there. I'm going to cut off the bottom left and the bottom right sections. Literally just cut those like so. And the same here. Cut those like so. Now I might even just trim a tiny bit of these corners off, just to make them easier to cut. So that's what I'm left with. Okay. I'm going to take my pieces. I'm going to fold them on the score lines. So one here, one here. This one here is not quite straight, so I'm just going to trim a little bit of that off. And then this will fold up here, like that. Simple. Okay, so I'm going to do that to all of them. and then we will glue them and get started. Just trimming these because I was trying to cut corners by doing them all in one go, and nothing ever good comes of cutting corners, so, but at least they're easy to trim down. That one's okay. The final one here, okay, so they are our 4 pieces. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to quickly glue them together. So I'm going to start by gluing this piece here that just overlaps, like that. And then I'm going to glue our bottom piece up. And that is it, as simple as that. Be careful when you're gluing your overlap that you don't go too far, which is what I can tend to do. And I'm literally just going to glue these sections here. I'm going to do the same with this one. And then the same with the last one. Okay, so these are going to be our 4 inserts, if you like. Like that. So I'm just going to pop those to one side a moment. And the next thing I'm going to do is, if you haven't already cut out your tags, if you've got paper that's long enough, I would literally cut it so that they're still attached and you can just fold it over. Because we haven't done that, we now have to use something to glue these bottom pieces together. I don't want to glue them together as such because I lose then that open, the amount it opens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to get something that is actually just going to kind of attach this at the bottom. So I'm going to grab something and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I've got some washi tapes. I've got a green one, which should hopefully go with the theme. Okay. This isn't an ideal way to fix these together, but I'm hoping it will work. So what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of glue there because we know that washi is not permanent. Oops-a-daisy. Okay, so that's the one. Put that over there. Put some glue on this side. And I'm going to pop this over here like that. Just rip that off. Okay, so and then I'm going to have to put some like that. Because the door is open, because it's so hot. Probably be better off with thicker washi tape than this, but it's what I've got at the moment, so that's what we're going to use. Okay. So in theory, it should let us open that like that. Oh no, I'm not going to get away with that because it's too... I might do. I think I just haven't cut that off enough. Okay, so hopefully that will stick, but we'll give it a minute or two to find its way. Okay, so while we're doing that, I'm going to grab some double-sided tape, and what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to rip a piece and pop it in the middle roughly. I'm not going to measure, just roughly in the middle of each of my inserts. Now I'm going to do it on both sides. And you haven't got to be ultra fussy. Just make sure you've got a nice piece that's going to stick your inserts together. Okay. Don't actually need to have it on both sides of each one. I just like to do it because I think it just adds a little bit of you know, extra stability. So before we do anything else, I'm going to quickly ink around my card. I'm using Distress Oxide in Walnut Stain, but I've just re-inked it, so it's actually quite dark, but that's okay. So we've got our first piece here then, there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by sticking these together. This is where you really only need the one piece of tape to stick two pieces together, but like I said, I like to have two just because I think it adds just a little bit of extra stability. Now when you're doing this, just take a little bit of time, because if you get these off center at this point, you are going to have a pig of a job getting them back together. Okay, so I'm literally just taking the cover off of the underside of the sticky and popping these two together. Another way you can do it is just to hold them like that and pop that in there. Okay, so that is our 4 inserts. Okay, so I'm going to pop these inside, but I'm going to do them one at a time. So I'm going to start by popping this along the bottom and just popping that in there like that. And then we can take this piece off here and close that top piece like that. So you've got your accordion style. It's gone a tiny bit over on this corner, which I'm not overly worried about, but if you want to make it a little bit smaller when you're creating your inserts, if you want it to be perfect, just literally make that a tiny bit smaller, but I'm quite okay with that. What I'm going to do now is just decorate this front. So I'm going to ink around the edges of our craft paper. I'm not using card because it's going on card, so it doesn't really need it. I'm going to ink around the edge of this one too. So then I'm going to glue this. I'm going to use a wet glue just because I might need a little bit of wiggle room to get this where I want it. So I'm using Collal for this. I generally tend to use Fabri-Tac for wet glues, but I do find I get on okay with Collal, and I think it does the same job. So I am quite happy with that. Okay, so I'm just going to glue this onto our tag here. And then I've got my bottom piece, which was my label. And the piece I'm going to stick that on. Like that, and that is going to go on here like that. And then to close this off, I am going to use an eyelet. I've got some pretty cool flowery ones in here somewhere. Is that one there? That I bought a load recently, so trying to find them is like literally like a needle in a haystack. There we go. So these are little flowered ones. I can put my hole straight in here because I have left enough room for the opening to attach this Okay, now I'm going to, what did I do with that? I'm going to pop this one in here like that. And set that. And then I'm going to pop a normal one in the back, like that. And then it's just putting a piece of cord, and this will be our closure. So we've got our tag, some writing space on the back, 2 eyelets, our accordion center, and then I'm going to pop that in there like so. Pop these up here like that, and I'm going to put a little bow on the top, and that is going to be our closure. So a really, again, not a long, difficult to make accordion tag. Really quite super simple. It's not too big as it is at the moment, but it depends on what you put inside it. But yeah, a really, really quick and easy accordion tag for your collection. And that is day 11 of 31. We are getting there. Just going to put a little bit more glue under here. But yeah, we are getting there, and I will see you tomorrow for the next installment. So until then, as always, take care, stay safe, and I will catch you soon. Bye for now.